And then we can just move it around, so we can then change the layouts and might say, all right, look, now we're going to, right, so now we're going to talk about, how to book accommodation. And, I'll have all this prepped up ready. So the video files we put together for the training videos, I'm going to use this as an example. You can have them all loaded up here, ready to go. It's like, all right, cool. So let's now have a look at our, I'm assuming you're still seeing this shared. Yeah. Right. So let's look at, accommodation.
Hi, I'm Becky, and this is my mate Eli. Hope you're all enjoying the workshop so far. We've been learning a lot about emergencies. They can happen anywhere and anytime, and they come in all shapes and sizes. Emergencies are really serious situations where people can be in danger, badly hurt, or might need. They can also.
Right. So, we can fiddle around with different layouts, how the things appear on the screen. So if we've got other guests dialed in, they'll appear here as well. So then I can then add them onto the stream and put multiple people down here, or put us side by side, or whatever we want it to be. And then the video files come and go when we dig into the training components. And so this being sort of just a polished top layer over the top of the training materials, putting it all together like into a show, and kind of going down that. Well, all right, if you're kind of stuck at home watching, it is boring as fuck just sitting, and being in a training, in a Teams meeting, and just sitting along watching. I mean, even though when you're doing that live, you kind of can sit there and go, oh. So, all right, if there's a way we can say, well, pretty much it seems like you all want to go to, even though the decision at the last meeting was let's do a hybrid, and that's fine. I'll do the hybrid. But really, it seems like you're all going to do it from home. Well, let's turn it, and then maybe it's actually we can just do a. All right, well, we don't really need to do the 2-hour block. We'll do them. We can do them more regularly. We get layouts and styles and formats all in place, and kind of got, okay, what's the background material needed for this session? Once we've got them in place, run them, and put out a thing. Okay, so the next one will be next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. and we'll just do it all live stream. Whoever attends. They're still essentially attending, watching it as a live stream podcast. And so it might be, all right, while we're running it, we need to make someone's kind of being the moderator and managing and responding to the chats and so forth. But then when it's done, bang, all right, it's done. The video's in the library. Anyone else who didn't attend can watch it whenever they like. And it all becomes more of a, we're interactive, but it's like a one-sided interactivity. We're going to keep pushing this out to you, and you can do it whenever you want to do it. But the expectation is at some point that you have got to it at some point. But then hopefully, if we've got a little more of this polish on the top of it, that it's a little more interesting. And I was looking at going, I might actually do regular pillowcase updates using this, like not a live stream one, just an actual produced little podcast. And maybe do that, once every couple of weeks. That put up, and you can subscribe to the logistics YouTube channel, and away you go. And then just sort of look at it and go, well, at some point making the decision, well, should all this be sort of unlisted and you can only get to it if you've got the link, or does it make a difference if it's just all publicly visible? And so you can see that. And then this option here, which you get in the paid version. So I was actually going to pay for a license myself just to keep playing around with it. This is where you can then connect it up to, to Zoom and whatever the hell those other acronyms are. So let's just say Zoom. So again, saying, so in the actual people in this, so the difference between like the versus the viewers, let's say. Okay. So in the stream, you can have, I think it's in the paid version, 10 presenters. So we can have 10 people that are part of the presentation of that podcast, if you will. But if we can connect this function up and we can put a Zoom call in the background, we could easily then just put, one of these windows is a Zoom call with the whole team, whoever's joining that night's podcast, and we can then just put the Zoom into one of the windows, so everyone is kind of live connected into it anyway. Does that make sense? I haven't tested that theory out because I haven't got this function yet. So I was going to literally just pay a personal account to get that function to do more testing, and then you can then put your own backgrounds. So a Red Cross background and so forth. You can, as it's running through, you can put your own captions to come up and come down. That you run through the podcast. You can then put your own, graphics backgrounds. I said, put your own overlays. Things that like this restream thing, things that pop up over the top of it. So again, well, this is what I've been playing with for a few days. It kind of tapped into my creative mind because I've been watching a few channels on YouTube that actually do really good, really creative podcasts. They're actually, even though they're, not really interactive in the sense that they've only got the people in the room, the way they sort of make it a bit of an entertainment show makes it, amusing to watch. So it was kind of with that mindset going, oh well, let's try to do something more interesting. And then at the same time, you only really need to do, to start with, each topic once, and then it's, well, too bad. Go back and watch the video library. Go onto the YouTube channel, watch all the previous podcasts. We've already covered that topic. And then, with this, as I said, all the multi-people in here and up to 10 presenters, we can then do, an interview series. So we can, again, find someone to talk about leadership, or we can, okay, or wider context. What's going on in the, planning team? Let's invite one of, the planning team to come to attend an interview. Even in Pillowcase, doing the same thing. Hey, maybe we can, interview a few presenters and get a few of their stories. How have they been traveling with Pillowcase this year? Or what's the rest of the country doing? Maybe get the coordinator from another state, to come on for a bit, and just really short, sharp to the point. So 5-10 minutes. Just really get to the point type beforehand. All right, here's kind of the questions we're gonna ask. Go from there. Is it? I think there's a bit in it, but I don't know. I'm on the fence. It kind of sounds really cool in my head. I don't know whether it's just talking crap though. Yeah, well, that's true, and obviously there's still a lot of work behind the scenes. Getting all the background stuff done as well, not just the front end setup. Getting the training videos done and working on the other bits and pieces. And and look at the same thing. If we get the idea of working groups up and running, that can be definitely one of the segments on the podcast. So literally thinking of it as a, I'm watching a weekly sitcom or a weekly 60 minutes. What are the stories about? What are the segments? All right, cool. Let's have a look at what's going on in the capacity building. In the capacity building project. Sort of making sense? Yeah. And that can be part of the, getting the logical defined, right? This is how we're going to structure it. But, if it's actually a little bit shorter as well, hopefully it's a little quicker to get to it. So if you chop and change it into frequently, and say, okay, look, we'll run these, maybe weekly. And bang, 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 done. All right, cool. Let's move on. And and when we cover training topics, that's it. We've covered it. It's done. All right. We're not doing a podcast segment on accommodation unless something in accommodation changes. Yeah. And that's where I came back to whether any of the material we got is publicly sensitive or not. I kind of just had it all unlisted, more just as a, well, I don't want to let information get out, but maybe it's give a shit. Because then if it was publicly available, they can just subscribe to the channel and then jump into the channel and find all of the all the previous podcasts and not have to have the links. Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, obviously the videos, we say things like check with your logistics officer for the passwords, yada yada yada. So we don't put any of that in them. So I don't know. I mean, when we talk about things like processes and we're showing how to log into CTM and all that sort of jazz, I mean, I'm sure companies use CTM. Does it make a difference? I don't know. Oh yeah, I know. So that's what I'm getting at in terms of if the videos and then I was just public, and so therefore, literally, if you had some sad ass person that found it, stumbled across it and just went, oh, that's interesting. I'll watch a few of these. Give a shit. Okay, they know how to use our system now, but doesn't mean they get access to it. Like, there's no access passwords in any of it. Because we know, obviously, we say things like, as I said, your logistics officer will give you the login. So we don't have that information in the videos. So that whole thing of, oh, if it's public and people roam across it, do we care? Yeah. So, and then, because then if that's the case, as I said, anyone that can't attend, well, they can subscribe to the logistics channel, and anything they've missed, they can just go into the channel, look at all the video list, and find whichever one they haven't watched. There's still plenty of homework on the behind the scenes stuff in terms of creating the actual training videos and like. So in this, for instance, if you look at on the pillar, if that was the video on how to do accommodation, and and it might be then the podcast that okay, the how to do accommodation, let's say, is 8 minutes, but 2 segments, so 20 minutes worth, is actually for that, because we're gonna stop the video every few minutes and talk about it, break it up, and also add in extra comments and so forth, and then continue on. And you might have obviously comments on the live chat that whoever we can then bring in different people to assist, and get someone to be a moderator that oh cool, here's some questions. And so this is where again I saw things like where we can use these captions. Moderator can kind of see things and go, oh okay, blah 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 blah, and then put that. Oh cool, Elaine's just said that video is fucking shit. Oh cool, thanks Elaine for the feedback. Do you know what I mean? And so trying to make it interactive that way, where it's acknowledging it, but it's really still controlling the here's what we're doing. We're not going outside of our timeframes because we're going to control the temperature and not allow it to. If you just keep talking away, that's great. We can just ignore it if we're over time. And so, because I mean, reality being, look, and I don't even know if you find this or if it's maybe it's different for your field teams, but when we say we're having a regular meeting, well, logistics meetings have never been meetings. Every time we've got together, they've been training catch-ups. Like if we're having an actual meeting where we say, all right, like last one we had when we were going over a whole bunch of topics. How do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? Yada, yada, yada. Okay, that's fine. We were actually kind of covering an agenda as a meeting. That was kind of a meeting. We weren't doing any training stuff. And so maybe that's the difference between, okay, when we're actually having a meeting, then yes, we'll just do it in Teams and we'll just have a meeting. But otherwise, we'll kind of have our podcast series for our learning library and our entertainment and what have you. Well, hopefully. So I said if I just do the invite guests, and so even while you're there, if I just put that in for you, oops, oh, that didn't grab it. Hang on one sec. Copy. Where did you go? Here now. Click on that. You should be able to actually then join this podcast as a guest, and she'll pop up as a window in this thing here. So I'll leave Teams still sharing, and you'll click sides of both sides of the equation, so to speak. So this is what this was the very first test I was doing when I was doing with Arden. That's why I said, did you see Arden at all? when I had Arden jump in. So I'm going to say, all right, today's guests are going to be, blah, blah, out. And it might be, hey, all right, let's try to connect in with, I don't know, someone who runs logistics at CFA. And, just kind of see what CFA is up to. Send them the link. Here's how we want you to jump in as a guest, be a part of the show. Make sense? So I've never clicked on it myself the other side, but I think when Arden did it, it was pretty easy. And then when that's connected up, you'll pop up in here when it's done whatever it needs to do. There you go. All right, so you see on your Teams one now you popped up. And so, all right, cool. I have a bit of pizzazz and so forth, put some sound effects. Damn it, what was that? What was that show with Dexter the robot? Bloody like 25 years ago. The dating show. Oh, anyway, it doesn't matter. Welcome back. The log show. Get the creative media hat on. All right, now next segment is we're going to talk to Elaine about how much she's really shitted off with Red Cross leadership. All right, let's bring Elaine. Welcome, Elaine. There you go. All right, so bring in Elaine. Now you didn't put a name in when you joined, obviously, so it has your name up here. So we just say people make sure you put a name in, because then it would put your name in the bottom here. But all good. And away you go. And obviously, cameras and yada yada yada.
Yeah, I can actually.
Blah 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 blah. Whatever. You're probably got me now. You're probably hearing duplicates in sound reverberation. So I'll turn you back off on this one. And then when you're done, bang bang bang. All right. Thanks for coming and being with us. Take them off this, and they'll disappear and continue on with the show. Is the concept making sense? Oh, totally. And I guess what I had in mind is, look, I'll do a lot of the pre-setup legwork, and then if we ever get to the stage going, all right, I think we're ready to go, let's test it. Let's see what happens, and then maybe get the feedback of, oh, far out, that really fell apart quick. That that sounded like a great idea, of not so good. To test out and see. But I actually in prep for testing it out, I actually ordered a proper proper good quality podcast microphone, and the proper boom arm and so forth. So that's going to arrive, I think, on Thursday. So I don't know what's going on with my camera. My camera's not playing up today, but so I don't have to wear these headphones. If kind of going to be on camera, but that's what I've been playing with for a few days, in terms of trying to create something more interesting. But yeah, as I said, lots of still stuff to do. Lots of work around creating the background material for it, the legwork stuff. And yep, still here. And whatever the show content is for the night, exactly the way you did. So there you go. Now you've changed your name to Elaine. So then if we put you back in, now it's I've got Elaine with us.
And if
we had 6 people, which just have 6 faces, and it would just be bang, 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 and then we can stack them up. So we might say, all right, let's do it in this format, and a whole bunch of extra little heads, or whatever's going to suit for the interview. So I'll yeah, my next step in terms of this, I wanted to show you though, kind of give you a heads up about what I was thinking and get any general thoughts. But I think the next stage is then I'll get the license up and running so I can create some of the customized backgrounds and some of the like add in logos and the overlays and things like that, and have that kind of ready to go as a test. And I was potentially even thinking of creating the test as pillowcase related. So literally creating the first one more as a pre-recorded. And once I'm finished, then just uploading it to the YouTube channel, and then just having it as a, right, hey, pillowcase team, here's the first podcast series on what's happening in pillowcase. And using that as a bit of a, all right, how did that go? Because really the only difference would be then doing it live as opposed to recording it all and then saving it and uploading it. Yeah. It doesn't seem too bad so far. The thing I said it's going to be, there's going to be a little bit of infrastructure behind it for the ones doing it live. Really getting over the top of managing the chat side, the interactivity with the, with the chat window and so forth. And making sure that that's, linking in as it's happening. And so that'll need some resourcing behind the scenes. But obviously we've still got, as I said, all that other work behind the scenes of creating the actual training material. But same thing, even when this microphone arrives, hopefully that'll also make a little bit, better quality for even creating the training videos as well. So anyway, lots to do, but as I always look, this is going to be the turtle, not the hare. Well, the fascinating thing is a little bit at this stage of the misunderstanding of our leadership. So tomorrow is our fortnightly leadership catch up. Last fortnight I dialed in and Abby kind of kicked me out. So it's been a month since I've been involved in one. No, that's the point. You keep saying, oh, well, because it's officially supposed to be your day off, you can't be here. So, okay. Then you realise no one will be here because there's no one else. And that's why I wanted to have that conversation with you about the official, do you want the glory sort of thing of, there's pros and cons of officially bringing you on and putting you as a deputy, putting you officially as a deputy function lead, the pros and cons of that. And so the cons, in terms of, officially then having people like Abby who always want to track you down and hassle you and having to have you go along to things when I can't. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't worry me not going because, you know, I don't really listen when I'm there anyway, but it's that's another matter. Yeah, totally. Well, and this is why with all this stuff, I was like, well, it's a bit disconnected anyway. You know, you keep saying don't come. We're still just going to keep doing what we're doing. I don't know what the rest of you are doing, but we're going full steam ahead. Obviously, at speed we're going, but we're going ahead with what we're doing. And if that is going to be contradictory, oh well, too bad, so sad. But you know, because really at this stage they've got no idea what we're doing, and I've got no idea what they're doing. So works out well. Oh, it's a bit like that. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, in the short term, if you're able to just follow through that with is whoever's missing. Are you not on Facebook? Are you not interested in being in the team, or you know, or are you in a way kind of ghosting us because you don't want to be in the team full stop? And so that we get to a final position of going, all right, like the whole team's there. We can put messages on the Facebook group, and then we know it's only A, B, and C that we have to send a separate message to who won't get it. And then just another last reminder for Saturday, particularly just making sure again I'm still not 100% that everyone has received their invites. But you should be able to just copy and paste the whole list, you know, from that column in the spreadsheet, whatever column 5 or 6 or whatever it is, and it should pretty much then just take them all as separate emails for an email mail out. Yeah, and then just whatever between the calendar invite and between the responses we've had on Facebook and you know whatever potential emails you get back. Oh, excuse me. Just sort of come Thursday night, roughly what the numbers look like. I'll go to Safeway on Friday. The one we need to just think about is I was just going to get maybe a garden salad and a coleslaw or a potato salad to go with it. Maybe pasta salad, I don't know. Oh yeah, that's where I was going with it, but that's what I was saying. My initial thing was just, you know, obviously the meat and some, you know, loaves of bread and a couple of salads. So, you know, I said I was thinking like a green salad and a potato or a pasta salad. But then something specific that at least JD can eat. Yeah, I know it's very specific around vegan, dairy, like I think dairy free. And so looking at, you know, maybe does it even mean do we need to find a recipe of something we can you know cook? Like, is there a bake thing or something that you know, because again, we'll need to know that beforehand. If we need to do something on the Friday or thereabouts. We can't do that on the day. Or vegan. Is there such a thing as a vegan burger? I don't know. Okay. All right. Well, I'll get a couple of those as well. But then, yeah, I might have to jump on, I don't know, the Safeway website and see. So I did a obviously just between us. When I was last on Field Ops Day, I just kind of did a sneaky gift card like we give you guys when you need to go and purchase nappies and what have you. So I kind of got one of those that I'll sneak in as a special items gift card needed, and then I'll just use the gift card to go and supply our barbecue. And then all I was thinking on the actual day, what do we say? We said 12 to start, 12:30. So I was probably going to be there at, I don't know, 10ish at the latest, and pull the barbecues out the back car park, maybe get out the marquee. I don't know, one of the tables, some chairs. Oh, maybe get a bag of ice or something for the Yeski, pull out one of the Yeskis and shit, maybe I should have done a bigger gift card. Might have to see who's on who's on Field Ops this week that they can say they needed to get another gift card. Oh, of course. Yeah, that would be awesome. No, obviously tomorrow you got more important things to do. Like Colin's not doing it. Oh wow. Nice. Yep. Yeah, I think some of the old traditions are good. You know, you can get to that stage a long ways off, but you know, walk the girls down there. I go, yeah, no, that's fine. I do still want my 10 cows though, or goats or whatever the hell you get. Yeah. Oh, what the? That's a that was an interesting comment in the chat window where I send you the links in the chat window for this meeting. At the very bottom. Oh, hang on. I was still sharing, so let me move you over here. Oh, now you see yourself. So I send you the YouTube links, and then I send you the one to join the podcast. Oh, this one. After the joining the podcast. That's interesting. Ellie McSheety left the chat. Why was she? Interesting. All right. Okie McDokie. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, I think this is an evolving thought process. So I think it's just, I'll try to do a few samples, and then we'll get to the stage where we can maybe try one live for logs and test the theory, and then get to the stage of making decisions about its success there, of thereafter. Cool. All right, lovely. Likewise, enjoy the day tomorrow. Thanks so much, Elaine. Bye.